Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia. That's my buddy Snark. We're here with starting 11 on a week when I think we're both happy.
Oh, I'm happy. There was 85 minutes where I thought I would not be very happy at all. But I'm happy.
Yeah. I think I enjoyed the North London Derby a little bit more. I mean, I'm always going to enjoy the North London Derby when we win at Spurs. So
Yeah, I was hoping for a lot more catastrophic injuries on both sides.
I'm not surprised at that at all.
Well, it didn't happen.
It did not happen. No.
Not during that game. There was some over the international break that didn't work out too well for you.
Yeah, I was very concerned going into that game playing without Odegaard. Rice obviously out with the suspension.
Yeah, we can talk about more about that in a second too.
Yeah,
when we get to it, because we should start. Boy, should we ever start the first game? First game of the week, Matchweek 4.
Matchweek
4
already.
English Premier League. Well, you say already, and we have already had an international break. Crazy. Anyways, Southampton, the Saints versus the Devils. Here are the Red Devils. The Saints actually looked pretty good to start the game. Like for the first 30 minutes or so, they looked pretty good.
Yeah, that was probably the best I've seen them play all season so far.
Yeah, Diego Dallo brings down Tyler Dibbling in the box. Everything looks like it's coming up Saints. But Cam Archer, with one of the poorest, I'll say, penalty tries since Enzo Fernandez last year against West Ham. Let's say,
yeah, it was not
awful. Good. It was terrible, and everything seems to fall apart for them from there. It's delete. Matches delete. I can't. It'll take me a while to figure out how to pronounce the last name or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though I've known him for whatever 10 years it's been. He gets his first United goal. A couple minutes later, it's Marcus Rashford scoring. That also comes before halftime, and then Jack Stevens. I don't know what was he thinking. Garnacho has the ball. He's carrying it, gets rid of it. Stevens comes in late, and for good measure, Stevens decides to put his studs into Garnacho's knee. Straight red card. I thought it was quite amusing that he felt like he did nothing wrong.
I thought it was amusing that it took so long for VAR to review this.
Yeah, and the ref didn't do it. Oh, the refs are all cowards now, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're all cowards. Easy call to make. Red card, he's gone. Garnacho gets a little bit of revenge, scoring deep into stoppage. I think it was basically would have been the last kick of the game, but it wouldn't have mattered. United gets their win. It puts an end to that little slide they had, I guess. But I think if you're expected to beat Southampton, especially if you're Manchester United, this isn't something that you go around bragging about like you're beating a sub-championship squad in the FA Cup. So whatever. Let's keep moving on. Let's move on to another team that should have been beat, especially since Brighton was at home with Ipswich.
Yeah.
Brighton actually looked good. They drew you guys. It was a little bit of, they drew you with one more man, I suppose, than you guys did last week. But still, there's nothing in this game. There's nothing. Yeah. Boring. Just the way that Ipswich, I'm sure, wanted to play it.
Terrible.
Yeah. No score. I think, we've probably spoken as much as we should about that match. I guess you could say that Ipswich has 2 points and they're not in the relegation zone.
Yeah, it was a good point for Ipswich. You could say that, but bad for Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton, not so much. Okay. Fulham and West Ham also played. I don't know if you saw much of the highlights or anything of this match, but Adama Traore gets robbed of a penalty in the first half. Absolutely robbed. It was Tim Robinson on the field. Paul Tierney, that smug bald bugger, on the VAR. Oh, I can't stand him. Yeah, he just, I guess it's pushed down from behind in the box on a scoring chance by Max
Mhm.
Tillman. Former teammate, I guess you could say, Max Tillman.
Yeah.
But no, there's no call, and there's nothing from the VAR. Just
No, of
cowardly
course not. Of course there's
cowardice.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raul Jimenez will score for Fulham, put them up. It was a real nice pass from your old friend, Emil Smith Rowe.
He's had a very good start to the season at Fulham. I'm happy
Yeah,
for him.
he's looked as good as a guy can in a Fulham shirt. Let's just say
Yeah.
that. So, yeah, it looks like all the little cottagers are going to go home happy. They're
No.
winning. No, no. A real quick throw in. I can't remember who threw it in, but I know that Jared Bowen saves the ball from going up the touchline by the net. Somehow finds Danny Ings, and that first touch was fantastic. Gives
It
him
was,
offensive
yeah.
space. He has no problem scoring from there, leveling it. Again, another game leveled at the death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess an entertaining London derby. I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Uh,
It wasn't
it's
as
not.
boring as Brighton and Ipswich. That's for
No,
sure.
it was not. The next game, not boring at all either. We're talking about the champions. The champions were finally going to face maybe some kind of music. We'll see as their
No.
trial has begun, and we'll see. We'll see.
I'm still not convinced that's going to lead to anything.
Yeah.
It
Uh,
should. It absolutely should, but I
yeah.
don't think it's going to.
We've heard things from 50 to 60 point deductions. We've heard that I guess the teams have said, like anonymously, that deductions aren't enough, that more has to be done. Nothing's going to happen, guys.
Nothing's going to happen.
They're not going to do anything to them. They're going to let them get away with it.
I will be
Anyways,
utterly shocked if anything comes of this.
I would be flabbergasted. So, speaking of flabbergasted, Jon Wissa scores 25 seconds into the match in this one.
That was very surprising.
Yeah, John Stones maybe not the best clearance.
No.
Puts it off Ederson's hands, and all of a sudden they're just kind of
Yeah.
yawn it into the open net, no problem. But City has this guy named Holland, who turns out he's pretty good. He ties it in the 19th, then gets the winner, and it is a hell of a pass / free kick from Ederson to find him. He's just too big and strong. Just blocks off his man. Flecken has no chance as soon as he's alone with him, and he was alone. And I don't know what you're going to do there. But
prior to this game, my commentary people had said that Erling Haaland had outscored every Premier League team so far this season.
Sounds right.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
That sounds right. I think this is 9 goals now he has this year.
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
apparently he almost didn't play because of the death of a close family friend.
Yeah, he had a tough week, they were saying.
Yeah.
So, he decided to take it out on Brentford. Brentford actually played good.
Brentford did play pretty well in this match.
They had chances, and Mark Flecken kept them in it. Like, Mark Flecken was fantastic in this match. He just, they just couldn't find another goal to help him out. And there was a play later on, and Bumo going in on a 3-on-1 just chose the wrong pass, went to the wrong guy, and couldn't get it in and stuff like that. So, there was chances for Brentford. Still, I say, you're going to have to be perfect to beat City right now.
Yeah.
They're just rolling, and I don't like it. I don't
like it either, because we play them next week.
Yeah, that's gonna be something.
Or this week, I guess, at this point.
It'll be this week. So we'll move on. Enough gets said about City anyway. Palace and Leicester, and thank goodness Palace has JP Mateta.
Yeah,
brings them back from a 2-goal deficit. And what happened to Averick Eze? Like, he always looks so good. He's just not scoring. Anyways,
Mhm.
a late
Well,
penalty.
when he does score, they don't count it,
Yeah,
so
that's true. And who scores maybe the non-goal of the year? I think you
yeah,
could say that so
yeah.
far. Only four games in. Plus, spoiler alert, there's a few goals coming up that I've already mentioned as goal of the year candidates just from this week. So yeah,
Okay.
it was a good week for goals. So yeah, Jamie Vardy scoring. Nice move on the keeper when he had some space. He just fights off his man, scores. Who else scored for them? Oh yeah, Steffi Mavidi. Steffi Mavidi scores
Okay.
for Leicester, who's it's his first Premier League goal. Good for him.
Mhm.
Yeah, they go up 2-0, but yeah, the second half, Mateta scores just like a minute later after Mavidi, and then of course, I guess we should talk about the first Mateta goal because they showed the picture because I had to go to VAR, and it shows him being clearly like a yard offside.
Side.
One
Yeah.
thing they didn't do is just pan that camera back a little bit because it shows which is the player that was
Yeah.
oh
I saw that
yeah, I can't remember. Yeah,
I saw
anyways, the
that
guy
graphic pop
stretched.
up and I was like, "How is he being played on side exactly here?"
Yeah, at the bottom of the box, the guy's stretching his leg out to block the pass or whatever, and he's clearly keeping Mateta
Yeah.
outside. This was a non controversy that turned into a bit of a controversy, and it's only the VAR's fault. They should have just shown the whole
It
thing.
is the VAR's fault, yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, the penalty a lot less controversial. Connor
Oh,
Godey
Connor Cody.
just
Oh, man.
just a lazy play, taking down Ismail Saul and the box, and they had just both come on. Like I think they were both substituted on the same break. It's
Mhm.
crazy, and they've only been on for 9 minutes or something like that. Just a lazy play, and then there you go. You put Mateta to spot. He makes no mistake. That was an actual good penalty kick. One thing I'm going to say, I am a little surprised that they didn't send the Ketty up to take it. So there you go. Just to
I
get him
was
going.
surprised that they didn't let Eddie take that penalty too. Maybe because they wanted to guarantee something that
I
even though
guess
it
so.
wasn't guaranteed, um,
This must be something they
I
talked about in
it
the
must be
preseason.
something,
It's
yeah. I mean,
Mateta's there.
it was his first full 90, with Palace, so maybe they
Yeah.
just decided Mateta should take it, I don't know, but, I wish Eddie well there, but I just don't see how that's gonna be successful for Palace, I must say.
They got the players. They have the players to get him the ball. They just have to put it
Yeah,
all together. Like you say, Eze's there. He can get players the ball. You got to do something with it.
yeah.
Anyways,
Eddie just does not have a very good record of scoring as a starter, I think.
no, no. Still young. We'll see.
He's
We'll
very
see.
young.
Yeah.
He can do well there, but
Well,
yeah.
yeah. It's Palace.
And it's
What's the pressure?
Palace.
What's the
Yeah.
pressure? No pressure. He is under no pressure. All right. Speaking of pressure, I don't know what that means. Shocker, the shocker of the week. I think this is easy to say. Shocker of the
Yeah.
week
Easily the shocker of the week.
happens in Liverpool. Arne Slot suffers his first loss as Liverpool manager, uh, despite the fact they had 70% of the ball, 3 times as many chances.
Yeah.
I don't know, 2 or 3 posts. Luis Diaz
Yeah.
looked good and just couldn't finish. They just couldn't
This
get any finish from anywhere.
this has just gotta be one of those games that you just are like, "Okay, it was our off day. They got a goal." It
That
could have been a 0-0 draw if they hadn't
Matt Sells
already
almost
got
put the ball in his own net.
yeah,
Almost
like,
that
they had plenty of chances, Liverpool, it just didn't happen for them.
happens for Callum Hudson-Odoi,
Mhm.
and it was a beauty. Nice
It was
curling,
a great goal.
hard strike. It was a great pass by Anthony Elanga to get it to him as
Yeah.
well. This is Nottingham Forest's first win at Anfield in 55 years.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Also,
pretty
one thing
crazy
I
to
should
think
note.
about.
one thing I should mention is that we always say two things. Forest wins at home. They weren't at home this time. And they score on the counterattack, which is exactly what they did.
That's what they did. Yep.
Well, there you go. They lived up. They lived up to their own.
Super weird to see Forest playing in powder blue.
Don't like it.
Oh, I don't like it. I knew they had to be in their away kits because, like, they had to. It's Anfield. Yeah. Liverpool's obviously going to be in red. But why did they go with powder blue for the away kits? Anyways, that's just a side note.
Manchester wearing the dark blue. Like, they're wearing this color blue.
Yeah, it's weird.
Doesn't make sense. Does not make any sense. Speaking of not making sense, actually, this makes a lot of sense. We're going to go to Birmingham for this next match, Adelia.
I watched this whole game.
Everton coming to town.
Yeah.
A crushing defeat the week before.
Oh, yeah.
Up 2 goals in, what was it, the 86th, 87th minute.
Mm-hmm.
Before getting scored on 3 times to lose in extras. Well, lightning can't strike twice, can it?
I mean, it's slightly differently this time.
A little bit. Dwight McNeil gets a quick goal or whatever. It's a nice nutmeg on Konsa, I think. I don't know if it even deflected off anybody. It just goes through his legs and a bit of English maybe on it. Goes in. Top of the box. And then Dom Calvert-Lewin scores. He had it's a real nice kick from McNeil. They had to look at this from the VAR for some reason. He was clearly onside.
I don't know why that took so long either. Like, that was a lengthy VAR check to make sure that he was onside.
But what it did do was give Villa a chance to regroup because it was 2 minutes later, 3 minutes later, Ollie Watkins finally getting off the schneid.
Scored. Yep.
In the second half, he scores again to tie it. Trouble in the Merseyside. So we figured out what's wrong with Ollie Watkins. He just doesn't play Everton every week.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. We saw what we are puzzle solvers. We figured it out.
We'll just have him play Liverpool and Everton every week. By Merseyside.
Yes,
there we go.
They're comfortable there. So, first of the goal of the year candidates comes up. It's the winner. Probably my favorite of the week, I would imagine. And it comes
goal of the week,
off the left boot of John Duran. How far out did I say he was? He was 30 yards. He was 30 yards out.
Yeah.
And
when that goal went in, my commentator said, well, at least Everton have given themselves some time to come back this time.
No kidding. Well, yeah.
Because it was in the 70-something minute when that goal went in?
It was in the 76th minute.
Yeah.
So, they still gave themselves 15 minutes. So, it's like they stopped playing offense, but they didn't park the bus. They couldn't park the bus.
Where's Jared Branthwaite? Is he injured? Because he has not played this season for Everton.
No. Also, I don't think Sean Dyche is making it to Christmas.
No.
Yeah, there's only so much rope you can have.
The only question I have with that is, who do they replace him with?
They'll find somebody. It'll be somebody who used to play for the team or something like that. Someone to help out, because there is a very good chance they aren't in the Premier League next year. Yeah, a very good chance, because they are terrible.
They're awful.
Can't do it. They can score. They can score, and they can score. Are they scoring too early? Is that the problem? Are they scoring too early?
If they don't score that early, the other team's going to score that early because they can't defend.
Oh.
It's like they lose concentration when they go 2 goals up. I have never seen a team give up a 2-goal lead to lose 3-2 in back-to-back games in the manner that Everton have.
I don't know if it's ever happened. You'd expected somebody would have written down a note somewhere, but it's it is too bad. Dom Calvert-Lewin misses 2 fantastic chances in this game as well.
He had a great chance to tie it at 3 and hit the crossbar.
He had that one that was just nicked away. It looks like he had the entire open net, and
Yeah.
the defender comes back just in the
He
time to
doesn't
knock it
have
away.
a lot of confidence, even though he's actually scoring again, and
Yeah,
it's coming back to bite them because they need him to score more goals, which is crazy to say because he's actually scoring goals this year when he wasn't last year.
it took him a bit, but
Mhm.
yeah, his form looks better. You'd think the confidence would be up, and it's just
I think it's
not
got to be hard for the
that much.
confidence to get up when no matter whether you score or not, your defense lets you down.
Yep. Uh, there's only so much you can do. You can't you can't expect your striker to be your best defender as well. They're just an awful mess. Uh,
Yeah.
their goaltending, of course, is a problem as well, which is funny considering you know
Yeah.
he's the English number one. Anyways,
Anyway, good win
let's
for
go on.
Villa.
Yeah, let's go on to better news for
Okay,
me.
for you.
But such a weird match.
This was
So
definitely a weird match. I went back because we had talked in our Discord that I had missed most of the second half of this match. I went back and watched the second half of this match. You guys
mhm.
definitely got better, and I think you deserved the win overall, but you were not good in the first half in this match.
What was the difference? What was the
Okay.
difference in the second half? Jaden Sancho on the pitch because he took over the game. He
Yeah.
was the best player outside of one, and I'll get to that guy in a minute because you'll guess who it is because I'm going to say I give this man shit all the time. I
Mhm.
give this man, who I'm going to say was the best player on the pitch, shit all the time. Not today. Yeah, 85 minutes. 85 minutes of frustration. 85 minutes of anger. We had some people over on Saturday, and this is the late game. This is the 8 o'clock start or whatever for England, so it's 2 o'clock for us.
Yeah, the really late game.
It's a late game. So I was, watching it. The first half, anger. People came over for the second half, so I had to cool it down. It was a little better, but
I'm sure that was
from
hard for you.
Tavernier hitting the crossbar in the 4th minute, Wesley Fofana. Wesley Fofana, has he had too much time off? Has the injuries
I
done?
mean,
Have they ruined his career?
they
Because he's
might
terrible. He's
he's
terrible.
not good.
What was that pass back? What was that pass back? Mind you, I will say this. He also got a yellow card. Didn't deserve. That was horse shit. I'm gonna
Mhm.
get to Anthony Taylor too. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
because there were a few yellow cards in this game.
yeah, uh, yeah. 2 of which don't even count. There weren't 14 yellows. There were 16. So, Evan, what is his name?
Evan Nielsen.
Evan Nielsen gets in from that or whatever. Sanchez has to stand there and take it. Just Evan Nielsen makes a mess of this. Of course, very dramatic or whatever. I think Sanchez
Mhm.
is in as good a spot as he can do it. Evan Nielsen has a poor shot at it, and then decides to do the barrel roll or whatever, like he's doing the high jump. Gets the
Mhm.
call, of course, from Taylor. He loves to point. He's very dramatic, pointing at the spot. But Sanchez has been looking up people, and he was following Evan Nielsen. Supposedly, Evan Nielsen will look to the side he's not going to shoot at.
Mm,
Sanchez had to do was track him. And it was
yeah.
a good shot. It was a good hard shot, but as slow as Sanchez dives, and he dives slow. He was actually able to make it over there, just I guess his sure size made it over to the
I
post in
thought
this
it
one.
I thought it was a pretty predictable penalty. I didn't think it was that great of an attempt.
It was in a good spot. Just it was right
It
at
was
that
in a
corner
good
when it would have
spot.
went in. He
Yeah,
was there ahead of it. It was nothing. It was nothing like Cam Archer's. I can tell you that. It was
yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
So okay, we'll go on. Anyways, I'll just stop. I was talking about Sanchez. Sanchez was the best player
He
on the
was, yeah.
pitch for us. He made some terrific saves, especially in the first half to keep them in. Never mind the penalty save. The distribution much better. considering who was in front of him. Axel Disasi was at right back for what was it? 70 minutes, 62 minutes, 62 minutes. We had because Gusto's hurt. Reece James, shockingly, still injured. I don't even, I don't know if that. I guess the suspension has to be over. I guess they can.
I thought it was 3 games, so it's got to be over.
It's 3 games, but I didn't know if they paused it if he was
They
injured and
added.
stuff like that. Yeah,
I
who
don't think it
knows?
pauses if you're injured.
Yeah, hope not. Anyways, we got to see Nico Jackson putter around the box, and he had the one good chance. It was a good save, but
he got a 4-game suspension at the end of last season, so maybe he missed this game too for it.
So Nico Jackson gets alone in the box. It gets a good shot off. How many times does he have the ball at his feet and he gets tracked down? He is so slow with the ball. He cannot progress the ball, and he's supposed to be a wide player, not a striker.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to be a play wide when you're that slow? When you're so easily overtaken? Incredible. Anyways, we have better players with balls at their feet now, including Jadon Sancho, who was incredible with the ball in his feet. I like it. I didn't get to see the Dortmund stuff. I didn't get to see much of Dortmund. I got to see him with United before he was sent off or whatever because him and Ten Hag just didn't get along. And I guess you have to put together that maybe the relationship between Ten Hag and him was so poor that he just didn't care. He didn't care. He wasn't going to get his minutes anyways, so he didn't try. So maybe this will work out for us. We got to say bye-bye Mudryk, right? Like that can't.
It's got to be.
I don't know how they get rid of him. They're going to take a humongous loss on him.
I don't think they can get rid of him, but he doesn't start.
It depends on where
he starts.
Let's get to Anthony Taylor quick before I get on to a couple of good things. I think I already talked about some good things. 14 yellows. Chelsea got 8 plus 1 to Enzo Maresca. That doesn't count on the board, but he gets a yellow card. The 14, of course, is a Premier League record. I'm going to say this. Levi Colwills wins the ball, doesn't touch a man, gets a yellow card. That's Anthony Taylor.
Yeah.
João Felix put his hand on a guy's shoulder. Didn't tug him. Didn't push him. Just put his hand on his shoulder. And he got a yellow card. He got the yellow card because the game was sitting at 13 fouls. Like 13 yellows. Taylor knew he would set a record if he just blew something. He was looking for anything. Yeah. And he got it. The man is trash. He's a detriment to the sport. But I will say this. When reports have come out now that people are tracking him, or people are tracking people online because they've been threatening Taylor and his family online, and that's horseshit. Grow up.
That is horseshit, yeah.
Fucking losers. You don't go after it, man. At the end of the game, it's at the end of the day, it's a game. Who cares? Yeah. Anthony Taylor, like, there's been so many managers who said Anthony Taylor should never referee a Chelsea match. And the fact that they've had him twice in the first 4 weeks is mind-boggling. But Chelsea's doing good.
Anthony Taylor apparently not refereeing in the Premier League this weekend. He's got 2 fourth official assignments.
Yeah, good. Remember last year when he was sent down to the championship?
I do remember that. I
think back up and does the FA Cup finals or in semifinals. Yeah.
Yeah. And then was at the Euros. Like, how is he considered one of the best referees in England? I don't know.
English referees are trash.
Yeah. I will say that a lot of those yellow cards were bullshit. Shouldn't have happened.
Wolves should have even had more. Chelsea had 9 fouls on the day, and they got 8 yellow cards from
8 yellow cards. Yeah, it was a ridiculous refereeing performance. I'm glad that in the end he didn't send somebody off for a second yellow card after a bullshit first yellow card, and I'm glad that it didn't essentially affect the outcome of the game that way.
Bournemouth gets 6. And Ariola gets a yellow card as well. Just running.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's complaining about. His guys were all over Cole Palmer all game. They probably could have had twice as many yellows. They should have been
I
had guys thrown
yeah,
out. Like it's
yeah.
crazy. How much
I
abuse this kid has to take?
I thought Bournemouth actually played fairly well in this game.
Yeah, they should have
They
won.
couldn't finish.
Nope. Well, Sanchez had a lot to do with that too. But yeah,
Sanchez had a lot
both
to do with that, but still, they should have won that game. They didn't.
yeah,
Chelsea
there's a guy who
deserving in
scored.
the end.
What? Just a power move by Christopher Nkunku, and a fantastic pass from Sancho to find him, and he just pushes through Sinisi, and what was the other guy? Zabrani. Just pushes through. Nice hard shot. Curls a little bit too. Oh, love to see it. Low. Love to see it. They gave Jackson 80 minutes. How do you do it? Look what happened. This guy comes in and it's just, I'm just going to take over the game with Sancho, and that's all.
Yeah, and Jackson's now signed through what?
2033. As long as we have Cole Palmer, we have Nico Jackson, hopefully to come off the bench for 9 more years.
He should be coming off the bench because he's not good enough. Maybe he'll develop into a player that starts sometime in that time span, but right now he should be coming off the bench.
One thing I'm going to say before we move on, last year, Poch wasn't making the substitutions and the formation changes needed to go to win games. He was just holding on. He was stubborn, and he held on to his things for too long. One thing you'll see we've seen Maresca do is Chelsea look much better second halves of games, especially compared to last year. And it's worked out. Couldn't get the result against City. But what were you going to do about that? They turned out they've been all right, and this is a brand new squad to each other and stuff like that too. So, I'm just happy for who we got. Just the guys with the ball in their feet, like Sancho, Felix, and Palmer, can do so much with the ball. Well, we know Felix is going to have a little trouble finishing. We know Palmer shouldn't, and it's going to be interesting to see what Sancho can do. There.
Once Chelsea finds the right players to have in a starting lineup on a consistent basis, I think you guys will hit a groove. But there's too much changing of the lineup right now, trying to fit players in because you guys have so many players.
Got to make people happy for maybe people are happy. Their checks are still going to clear. They don't get paid by the minute. So I'm going to say, guys, be happy. You're getting paid a lot.
That's true.
Take a half day. Let's move on. So we're going to move on quick to the Molyneux. Mario Lamina gets the host ahead. 36 minutes in. It's a really nice pass across the box by Jørgen Strand Larsen. I just like to say Jørgen. But as nice as the pass is, it's the dummy by João Gomez.
Yeah.
At least everybody stopped. And Lamina has half the net to kick it into so easily. I love a dummy. I love a dummy. So anyways, fantastic. I'd love to see it. Strand Larsen actually has a couple more chances to bury in the second half. Couldn't get it done. He couldn't get it done, and Fabian Schär makes him pay for it. Now, I would say this is top quality goal of at least the week candidate, but it does take a nick off Lamina, so it kind of brings it down. But that was from about 27 yards out. He gets a little bit of luck in there, but it's a fine looking goal. But Harvey Barnes' goal to win it, just finding some space at the top of the box, and even him from 24 yards out. And now Hardy hit it, and the curl. Another one. It's like, God, 2 goals like this in the first week. And, I'm still think I'm leaning John Duran. I think I'm with you. John Duran's goal was so nice. And he just struck so hard. And with the left, but, to that top corner. But Harvey Barnes finding the space to hit it that hard and to curl that one in as well. Mwah. And also, how about those Newcastle away kids? Not bad.
They're not bad, no.
Not not too shabby. Anyways, this is a really even game. Chances were almost even. The ball was almost even. Super enjoyable match to watch.
Yeah.
I'm just glad there was a winner. It would have sucked if that game came out of the draw.
Yeah, it would have sucked if it was a draw. But
Speaking of things that suck, I'm just kidding.
No.
No, this was fun. This is fun, and it has some moments. The North London Derby.
Yep.
Adelia.
Yep.
Say it's reffed by Jared Gillette, who I have given shit to already this year.
I was about to give shit to him at halftime. We were 7 yellow cards in at halftime. I was like, "Are you trying to break Anthony Taylor's record?" He said it yesterday.
VAR was Stuart Atwell. Not great.
Yeah.
Not great. Now,
yeah,
I'm going to say this real quick. I watched a little bit of the refs mic'd up thing today on Declan Rice's call or whatever with Howard Webb. I think they do a good job explaining the call in that. And just when I see it, from some of the angles I see now with him just kind of pushing the ball away, it does look like maybe he's going to kick it. He says it doesn't matter if the ball was moving. His intention was to kick it quickly, and he couldn't because he kicked it out of the way. The referee just kept saying, like, he doesn't want to do it. I don't want to do it, but you haven't left me a choice. He kept telling it to Declan Rice. Anyways, that's what the explanation was there.
This rule sucks. I can't wait till they stop enforcing it.
Yes. You guys, speaking of enforcing, you guys had to roll out a 4-4-2 for this match.
We did. We kind of did. I don't know that it was necessarily played as a 4-4-2, but it was kind of that. Yeah.
Yeah, you play a couple guys for the you had Trossard up.
We had Trossard in like the 10 and Martinelli on the wing.
Yeah,
there was all kinds of stuff.
Jorginho was in there.
Jorginho and Thomas Partey were both in midfield. I was like, I did not know how this was going to go.
It worked out.
But it worked out. It did work out.
Give up a couple of chances or whatever. Solanke had a good chance. Kulusevski early too has a good chance.
David Raya made some big saves early in that game.
He was good. Let's see. Havertz with that header.
Yeah,
had a good chance.
And
then let's go to.
Are we talking about the Martinelli chance?
Oh yeah. Well, you can.
Where he should have passed it. He should have passed the Saka. And that just tells you where his confidence is right now.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah. Well, Martinelli, I think he just felt he needed to get one more than you guys needed to win.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he's trying so hard to get a goal to end this streak of him not scoring a goal that he's not making the smart decisions and passing the ball to Saka there. Didn't matter in the end, but it would have been nice to have a goal in the first half.
It would have. I'm sure it would have eased the tension around.
I don't like being that tense at 9 a.m. I'm really glad this wasn't a 6:30 in the morning game.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah. Okay, so just after that happens, Jurriën Timber has the ball near the touchline. I think he has possession still. He might not be on his foot at this time, but he hadn't given up possession. He steps on the ball. Pedro Porro comes in, touches the ball. Timber rolls off and stamps him a little bit. It wasn't very hard.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
He didn't go studs up into him like some people were doing.
No, I think a couple of people at first thought, oh, that's a red or whatever, but then he's off. No, that's all yellow. But it gets whistled down, but he keeps running with the ball. Now, I think he could legit say that he couldn't hear it because the Spurs fans were angry.
Yeah.
This. And, so he's running. He goes towards the touchline before he finally gives up the ball.
Yeah.
Vicario runs out and gets in his face. Aggressive play, yellow card for him too.
Mm-hmm.
But Timber grabs him by the shirt and shakes him. Are you surprised? Well, I'll say I am surprised they didn't give him a second yellow card. I thought, oh boy, he's done. He's done.
Yeah,
Like not just for maybe the time wasting if they wanted to get really difficult, but I think you guys
yeah.
got a bad break last week.
With the way that things have been officiated so far this year, with the pedantic bullshit about everything, I
Yeah,
was surprised they didn't give Timber a second yellow. I was glad they didn't give Timber a second yellow, but I was somewhat surprised that they didn't. He didn't throw a punch. He didn't do anything that would have been clearly a second yellow. He just sort of grabbed his shirt and shook him a little bit. So I think maybe they kind of used some common sense there, but like I don't know. I know a lot of people were immediately like that was a red card. Like I was watching the like Twitter and a lot of people thought that was a red card for the challenge. Pedro
yeah.
Porro, of course, rolling around on the ground like he's just been shot. Um,
Ugh, Pedro Porro.
but then when they showed the replay and our commentators, we had the NBC guys there, sort of explained what the VAR had said that they had heard because they can hear the VAR.
Yeah,
It made perfect sense why they didn't consider that a red card.
yeah. He had his foot on the ball, which he really
Yeah,
shouldn't do. But he
yeah.
wasn't. He wasn't sliding. He wasn't running. He didn't doing anything. Pedro
This
Porro
was
kind of
different.
orchestrated that by going after the ball.
Somebody brought up the one in the Liverpool game last year. What was it, Curtis Jones,
Hmm.
where his foot went over the ball and studs first into the player? That's not what this was.
No,
I think a lot of people
yeah.
at
Jones
first
was.
thought it was the same thing.
He was in motion. He was running with the
Yeah,
ball, and he goes over the ball.
Timber was stopped.
Tipper stopped with his foot on the ball.
Yeah.
You know, what are you gonna do?
So, that
Still
I
got to
would
go.
have to say was officiated well.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the goal because
Okay.
Saka's gonna have a corner,
Mhm.
and Gabrielle, and he's just so good heading in
Yeah.
corner. Gets
Yeah.
up super high, hammers it home. Little push.
Yeah. Little
It's a little
push.
push there.
VAR did look at it and said, "No,
Yeah.
that's nothing."
Yeah. Yeah. Again, uh, I think that's a different ref on a different day. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's an actual goal. Yeah, it's I liked it. I like the fact that they didn't give that call. It's
I
not
don't
like
think it was
it
that
wasn't.
hard of a push.
Yeah,
He didn't knock him to the ground.
Christian Romero, you shouldn't have your damn back turned to your man. That's
Yeah.
stupid. That was just stupid play.
It was a good headed goal by Gabriel. It was his 15th goal from a set piece since the start of the 2021 Premier League. That's the most in the league
It's
over
pretty
that
good.
time. Yeah. Arsenal are very good at set pieces still. Everybody was like, "Oh, Ben White can't do his antics next to the goalkeeper this year. You're not going to be as good." And we're still pretty good. I credit that to Nicholas Shover, our set piece coach. He's very, very good and got them organized and disciplined on corners. And yeah, I like that goal a lot. Gabriel, I feel like always is sort of like looked at as the other center back. Not that he's not good, but
Right,
like
with Saliba.
Saliba's the Rolls Royce and Gabriel is not. But he's so good and like he won the man of the match for being as good as he was in this. And he's done this more than once now at Tottenham in the North London Derby.
Too
So
funny.
yeah.
Too funny. Now you did have a guy make his Arsenal debut. What what did you think of Raheem Sterling?
Here's my thing on this. We had Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus come on at the same time. And
Hmm.
then 6 minutes later, we had this. I believe he's 16. He might be 17. Ethan and Wary come on. He was better than both of them. Now Jesus hasn't played for a long time because of injury. I don't know what Sterling's excuse is,
He
but he
hasn't
was
played 4 games.
composed. He was composed. The kid was. Raheem Sterling gave the ball away a few times. I'm not saying that this is a failed experiment already because it can't possibly be when he got like 10 minutes plus
Yep.
stoppage time.
Mhm.
But I think that if he's going to make an impact, he's going to have to work harder defensively because like that's the thing that we are. We are the best defensive team in the league last year and have
Like,
been so far this year. I don't trust him
10
to do
minutes with the
that.
lead. 10 minutes with the lead.
10
You'll get
minutes with a
Raheem
lead.
Sterling.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that we're going to trust him to do that. I think he only really plays if Saka is injured or if Martinelli and Trossard are both injured.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd be like your third choice winger.
I think he might be good to play in the cups,
Oh,
but
sure.
that's about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, give Saka
You
a
can,
break.
yeah, you can play against a Charlton FC or something like that.
Yeah, I've never thought that this Raheem Sterling signing was going to be, oh, he's going to come in and challenge for a starting spot or anything like that. That's not happening. If Martinelli's not playing, Trossard's generally playing there. If for some reason Trossard can't play there, Sterling. And same with Saka. Saka's always going to be starting if it's a big game, if he's able to. Um, I just think Sterling gives us depth in the winger position, which we didn't have, and that's fine.
One thing I'll notice, last thing I'll say about this match, and I'll give you a chance to say if you want any closing things or whatever, but about
Yeah.
Sterling, he did do the classic Raheem Sterling at Chelsea move, where he gets the ball, he gets to the box, and he continues on and on and on and on till any chance of a try
Yeah.
is gone. Not only for him, but for his
But
teammates.
for anybody else, yeah.
Yeah. Terrible.
Maybe he evolves from that a little bit this year, but I doubt it. And like I said, I think he's just going to be a good guy to have in training, and maybe he plays if
Oh yeah,
someone
he's a
is
great
injured.
teammate. He's a great
Yeah,
teammate. That's what everyone says. And he only costs you guys $100,000 a week.
yeah. I mean, you guys are essentially paying him
Two hundred and
to
fifty
play
thousand
for
dollars.
us this year.
$1
Yeah.
million a month. We're
Yep.
giving to you for. You're welcome. Okay.
Yeah. I do want to say Spurs are off to their worst start in 9 years.
13th. They're 13th. Too
I
fun.
love it.
Too fun.
I love it. It made my day when I heard they're off to their worst start in 9 years. They've got 4 points from 4 games.
Yeah.
I thought they had moments where they were pretty good on the counterattack. I thought Raya came up big on some crosses and making some saves, but we were much better in the second half than they were, and I feel like we deserved to win. And yeah,
Yeah.
shout out Trevor. As Ferris
Yeah.
says in the chat, North London is red. Suck it, Trevor.
Very good.
I on the weekend, Ferris brought to my attention a tweet that said American soccer culture is walking around a farmer's market sad in a Tottenham shirt. So I quote tweeted that and asked Trevor how the farmer's market was. He did not respond.
Oh my goodness gracious. Is that the market? One thing I'll say is don't worry, Spurs fan, because Ange Postecoglou says that he always wins a trophy in his second year.
That was ridiculous when he said
don't worry, guys. It's
don't worry, trophies are coming.
You got the Ange guarantee. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Sorry, Ange, but I think you might have had better teams everywhere else that you were than the Spurs team was. Also wanted to say,
teams, to be fair, lesser teams,
teams, but better. I also wanted to say I thought Jurriën Timber did really well at left back. Sort of kept Brennan Johnson quiet for the majority of the game until they took him out. And
it's disappointing. Last year, even he was looking fine or whatever, and then maybe he's just better as a sub. For a place like that. Maybe it's just an energy guy to come in for a sub. But who did they put on wing then instead of him? Like I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, who did they sub him out for? Wilson Odobert, the kid they got from Burnley.
Yeah.
Don't think that he's quite ready for that level. And yeah, Spurs can suck it.
Oh my goodness gracious! I agree.
I hate them so much.
I get it.
We've won 3 straight North London derbies at Spurs now, which makes me happy.
Yeah. Again, Chelsea have apartments there because that's where we live.
We've beaten them more at the new vaunted Tottenham Hotspur Stadium than they have beaten us at the Emirates, and the Emirates has existed much longer.
Didn't you? Yeah, didn't that guy that came on for you? Wasn't he like born a year after the Emirates?
Yeah, something like that.
Craziness.
He's a kid, but I was concerned about Saka until they said he was just cramping, and so they took him off.
Yeah,
but like it tells you the trust that Arteta has in that kid to put him on when it's 1-0 in the North London derby, and we're seeing the game out. He made a massive block on Son.
Yeah,
at one point.
that's another
So,
guy who's been disappointing too, eh?
yeah, he's not been good.
Ever since that Asia Cup, he hasn't looked the same. It's just
Yeah.
been a little different. There's something a little different about him. It's just
Mhm.
age. Who knows? Who knows? Dom Solanke too. Just I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, Solanke did not look good in this game.
No, one good chance, and that's about it. And a lot of carrying on. Yeah, yeah, and that one good chance, he looked good when getting around his man and stuff like that. It was a real good move. Just couldn't finish.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Prediction.
you end up winning the prediction war this week.
Mm-hmm.
You're the only one to get 7 right.
Yep.
I'm still yet to win a week, but will it change? Will it change this week? How about
We'll see.
West Ham, Chelsea? Lead off the week.
Chelsea.
Chelsea's going to win at London Stadium. I agree. Villa, Wolves.
Villa.
Yeah, Villa should have no problem with that one. I agree.
Villa having their first Champions League game today. They beat up on the young boys. So
Such a bad name.
it
Anyways,
is a terrible name.
Leicester and Everton. Do the woes continue?
I mean, the woes are definitely going to continue. I don't trust Leicester to score enough goals to actually beat Everton. I'm going with a draw.
Okay.
Even if Everton gets a lead, I don't trust them to hold it. So.
Yep, I get it. I went with Leicester. I just went. They're at the Kings Power Stadium. Might as well go with them because I don't trust Everton. So there you go. Liverpool, Bournemouth at Anfield. They're not going to lose twice in a row at home.
I mean, to Forest and Bournemouth, no.
You wouldn't think.
You wouldn't think.
I agree with you.
Fulham. I don't know who's scoring for Bournemouth. I mean,
yeah.
I don't like the looks of the Evan Nielsen guy so far.
No. No, that was a terrible penalty. Yeah. Fulham and Newcastle.
Newcastle.
I went with Newcastle as well. So far, you got that draw. So we have one difference. Here's another squeaker. Southampton and Ipswich.
I'm going Ipswich.
Okay, I went with a draw on this one, but yeah, I think Ipswich is probably a pretty good play.
I think Southampton are terrible, and I think Ipswich have looked better, so I'm going Ipswich.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Tottenham, Brentford. Tottenham gets to stay at home again. For what that's worth. Oh, she goes Brentford. I went with a draw.
Could be.
Let's see. Who's next? Palace, United. I went with Palace.
I'd love it if Palace wins. I just don't think they're going to.
Yeah, we'll see. Brighton, I guess Forest.
I went Brighton. I think they'll rebound.
Yeah, I went Brighton as well. I think last week was a bit of an outlier for both clubs. Then here we go. City, Arsenal to close the week. The juggernaut matchup.
Yeah.
Of the early
I hate
season.
that this is so early in the season.
Yeah.
But I can't pick against my team.
No.
I would be happy with the draw in this game, but I'm going to pick Arsenal.
Yeah, I went with City just because they're at home.
We have not lost on the road in 2024, so.
No, you guys have done well. City looks good.
the calendar year 2024, not just this season.
Yeah. You don't have Odegaard.
Don't have Odegaard.
You have Rice back.
We will have Rice back. That will be helpful because I think he'll play instead of Party. I think Jorginho plays.
You think Jorginho doesn't play ahead of Party?
I think Jorginho plays ahead of Party. I think Arteta trusts him more.
Well, yeah.
Jorginho was captain this week, so Arteta trusts him.
He's a good man. I'll never say a bad word about Jorginho.
Yeah.
Except that's where he plays now. Anyways, that's it.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Snark, where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me weekends on our entertainment channel, LGRN, After Snark with Danny. I believe we're doing an episode this week. I believe we're doing some more Doom stuff this week. So I should probably download some stuff to my PlayStation so I can play Doom again and figure out how to work the thing or whatever so I can broadcast it because I haven't done that in quite some time. Let's see what else. You and I, Thursdays. Rewatchers Council on the Entertainment Channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one we're talking about this week? And season
And
3 is starting. Season 3. Can you believe it?
I remember this episode, so I'm excited to watch it again.
Yeah, it's a good episode. Of the season, the season debuts is pretty good. Pretty good. So anyways, after that, I don't know, maybe some other things going to be coming up soon. Well, maybe we'll be talking some more hockey soon. Hockey season starting. Maybe a couple other things. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as the year rolls to an end here.
Yeah, we will. You can find me, as Snark said, on the Rewatchers Council. We'll be live at 3 p.m. Pacific on Thursday, talking about Anne. And then we'll be back here next week, 5 p.m. Pacific on Tuesdays, talking about the week that was in the Premier League. Ferris and I will be back with the open table at some point. It's not going to be this week, but we'll be back with that. That's usually Fridays, 8 p.m. Pacific on the Entertainment Channel. There's links to both channels in the description of this episode. Please subscribe to the YouTube channels. We're 35 away from 1,000 on the Entertainment Channel.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
It would be nice to get there before the end of the year. And we have a Ko-Fi page now.
Yeah.
Ko-Fi. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. It's ko-fi.com/LGR_network.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say Ko-Fi. Just to be different.
Okay. Just to be different.
Difficult. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a link to that as well in the description of this episode. Please check it out and subscribe if you're interested in supporting the channel. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And until next week, we are out of here.